Ged goes down. Oh my goodness, Ged. He's been clawed down by the skeleton. Okay, we've lost one of the front rank. So now is all the boys go. So first of all, Finn was behind Ged. We'll have Finn go first and go in with his club and try and smash the skeletons off. Finn goes in to attack. He rolls a +0 to attack. He's got a 14, and that easily smashes into the skeleton with his wooden club for 1d4 damage. He does 1 damage. Okay, so each skeleton has 1d4 hit points, and fortunately the one he went in to smash right there is an extremely old and brittle skeleton, and just completely he just collapses and crumples down. So we've actually managed to get rid of one there. Well done. I know he only did 1 damage, but he's probably like, oh, get off. Okay, now Han the jeweler's going to go in with his dagger on the only skeleton left standing because the other skeleton's fallen down. So he actually gets a +1 to his attack. So he rolled a 6 + 1 is 7. Unfortunately, that's not enough. His dagger just goes flying past that skeleton. Okay, next. Dine, Osler. He's got a big old staff. He's going to go in to attack with that on the skeleton that's still standing. He rolls a 4 + 1. Again, he also misses. Everyone's taken aback by the collapse of Ged, I suppose. Don't worry, I don't think he's dead. He's just down and yeah. Alright then. It's old little halfling haberdasher's time. Cal, he's gonna go in with his scissors. I feel like he wouldn't attack the standing skeleton because he's seeing his friends are going against that, and he's gonna lean off to one side and try and smash in the one that's collapsed to the ground, the one on the side, right? Because that one's collapsed to the ground, we're going to give him advantage on his attack roll, which means he's going to roll 2d20 and take the highest result. He got a 19 on one of them. He has a -2 to that because he's quite weak, but that's still a 17, which is absolutely enough. He plies his scissors into that skeleton for 1d4 damage. He rolls 1, not enough to destroy it, but he probably is like, take that skeleton. Right. So then, that's everyone at the front row who's attacked, and Ged has fallen, but not to worry. What we'll now have is Ike, who is in the second row side, and Moll, who's in the second row side, will also move round to the front to surround the skeletons as well. Alright, but they're fallen back for now. They will come round next round, so they can't be attacked this time. Okay, so what happened? One of the skeletons has been completely destroyed. Well, that's helpful. There's one that's obviously quite strong and standing up and everyone's missing, and there's one that's crumpled. So the crumpled one is going to uncrumple himself. That's basically all he's going to do. He's now uncrumpled and he's right next to Cal, a little halfling. The other skeleton, who seems to be the leader of the group because he's quite strong, he comes in to attack, and again I'll roll a 1d4 and see which character he attacks. 4. He's going for little halfling again. Goodness me. That's probably because he was the only one to get a hit in, really. Well, probably because he's managed to stick his scissors in the other guy's head. Okay. So, the big boss skeleton tries to claw at the halfling. He also rolls a 1. This is quite ridiculous. So halflings are very lucky. As legend goes, halflings are very lucky, so it's paying off quite well. So this skeleton also lunges in at the little thing, and he also crumples to the ground. He probably got tangled up in his friend who just uncrumpled himself. Goodness me. So that's it. That's the skeleton's go. There's no more to be said. There's no more to be said for that. Okay, so it's our go. Ike and Moll have moved up into the front row, which means we now have 6 surrounding. Let's just go left to right, shall we? I feel like the 3 on the left can only attack one skeleton, and the 3 on the right can only attack the other. So the 3 on the left can attack the one that's just crumpled down. He was the leader, the one in the middle. So they all get to roll advantage to hit him because he's crumpled down to the ground. So let's take Ike first. He rolls 2 13s. He adds 1 to that, which hits. He's got his dagger, but he's also quite strong. So he actually gets a +2 to this. So he rolls his dagger for 2, gets another 2, 4 damage with his dagger down into the skeleton. So the skeleton is now looking like it's about to fall apart. So the 3 on the right, let's start with Moll, who's just come up round the other side. He's actually got a short bow. He didn't actually need to come up round, so let me slide him back a bit, and he's going to shoot his bow from a distance. He's shooting at the other skeleton, the one that's just stood up, so he doesn't get advantage on this. But because his luck is so high, he gets a +3 to this, and his strength is +1, so he gets a total of +4 to hit this skeleton with. So he rolls a 7, which wouldn't be enough, but he has a +4, so that's 11, so that is enough to hit, and he's going to now shoot his bow out for 1d6 damage plus his 1 strength. So he rolls a 4, that's a total of 5. However, because it's an arrow into the skeleton, skeletons are semi-immune to the piercing attack of the arrow, so he only takes half damage, unfortunately. So he actually takes 2 damage, but that's enough. It looks like, although it's kind of sticks in his ribcage, it looks like it's enough to jostle and weaken him. So let's go back to the left-hand side. I think Finn the Fisherman's going to go in and try and club the skeleton that's fallen down. He gets a 6. He adds nothing to it. He misses. Oh, I'm sorry, it was a 9. It was upside down. That's enough. That is enough. So he goes and he clubs the fallen down skeleton over the head with his wooden fishing club thing for 4 damage and obliterates that into bone and dust. Okay, the leader is down. There's one more left who stood up, and he looks like he's going to fall apart anyway. We'll have Dine the ostler go in with his staff, see if he can whack it down. He rolls a 16. His staff does 1d4 damage. He rolled a 1. He adds 1 to it. He destroys and collapses that skeleton, and the evil drops out of their eyes. Oh my, and they fall to the ground. Just lifeless piles. Whew! Everybody breathes a sigh of relief. Ged is down. It's probably best that we get him home to safety. Fine, so I'm going to give us 2 experience points for everyone. Unfortunately, Ged doesn't get any, but there we go. Now we only need 10 experience points to gain our first level, because we're currently at level 0, and become real adventurers. So everybody gets 2 points. So then, well, we're in a bit of a predicament now, with Ged having fainted. He's been rather gashed across the chest by the skeletons, and, well, the first thing I'm going to think here is that Bry is a mendicant. He wants to grow up to be a healer in a way, and therefore he would probably say that he would want to take Ged back home. So I guess I'm trying to use the backgrounds and things that they come from to infer what should happen. So first off, let's say Bry's going to go. Now, we would also want someone who's strong. I think Ike is a good choice. He has a strength of 13, which is, I think, the highest of everybody. I think Moll the Hunter has he has a 13 strength as well. But Ike has got 15 stamina and 15 personality and 14 luck, so he's got quite a lot. So I think that he would suggest that he would help to carry Ged. He might carry Ged on his shoulders, on his back. Bry will go with Ged, and he'll pick up Ged's lantern and carry it along. Ike will go because he's quite strong, and he actually has 5 hit points as well. So, and then for the sake, I'll just shuffle and select someone completely at random, and they can go along too, because I think we're going to need 3 people to help take fainted Ged back. So we've got, oh look, it's Ark, the elf. Okay, well he's the most intelligent of the group, so those 3 and Ged are going to start their journey back. And they're carrying Ged and looking out for him on the way. So they will probably say, we're going to go back. The others probably, we only just arrived really. it's probably about 1 o'clock in the afternoon or so, maybe 2 o'clock, something like that. And so I think that the others would say that they're press on. But more so than that, I think that we might now aim to discover and track where these skeletons have come from. So let's wave goodbye to Brian, Ike and Ark as they carry Ged home. They'll leave the party for now. And let's take a look and see if we can discover where the skeletons came from in the first place, because there's many mounds and things, and perhaps it will lead us to further information and exploration. So, overall, no one has an intelligence higher than +1. Han the jeweler's the highest with 15 intelligence, I see. So we're going to make a roll to see if we can track. A jeweler isn't particularly good at tracking, so he would only roll a 10-sided dice, not a 20. So let's see who we've got here. Kess, the halfling hunter, would be a good choice, and so would Moll, the hunter. Unfortunately, they both have an intelligence of -1. So what we'll do is we'll give them the 20 because they're both hunters and they're tracking, but we'll also give them both advantage on it because everyone in the group is probably working together to see the tracks. So we're going to roll. I think I'm going to say that they are going to use their luck to track. And Moll has the highest luck of +3. And the difficulty to find these skeletons, what do we think it is? Probably a 10, which is medium. So let's go and roll and see what we get. Wow, we got a 15 and a 14. And we add 3 to that, so that's by far enough. So then, all together, checking and looking, and there's the marshy grass and the mist around, and we would probably be able to find a trodden down path of this where the skeletons have come from. And so, I'm going to look in the book here, and there's a table here that lists all of the entrances and exits into Barrowmaze. So, it says there are 13 possible entrances, but there is a suggested primary entrance. So I think that we're just going to go along with that knowledge, and we will track the skeleton's appearance back to the primary entrance on the mound. So if we look here, that is mound 12. So let's take ourselves and follow the way. Okay. So we begin to come across an overgrown pathway lined with small stone cairns, and it leads towards a very large central mound, and we are now allowed to look at illustration 1, which I have right there. So yeah, that we can see it encircled by standing stones. The stone door has been broken in half and is down in the grass. There's skulls and bones all over the area. And the inside of the mound there is very, very dark. And so this is it. Time to stand together and to advance and to see what mysteries and darknesses are down there